The Men's Government of New South Wales recently unveiled the Bus Industry Task Force, headed by former State Transit Authority head John Lee. The task force is tasked with scrutinizing service delivery, including whether or not private operators are living up to the terms of their contracts, as well as infrastructure, driver employment arrangements, and equity of bus services in different regions. The task force's objective is not to tear up current contracts, but to look for easier solutions to improve services in the short, medium, and long term. Transport Minister Joe Halen emphasizes that the government is not in the business of ripping up contracts, and that the task force is only interested in eventually returning certain region services to public-owned operations when their contracts have expired. The recent inquiry into the privatization of New South Wales bus services found that services have deteriorated since the shift to private ownership. This has recently resulted in residents having to resort to crowdfunding for their own pirate bus services. According to the minister, the task force's scope of work includes considering resurrecting discontinued routes if the local communities have a voice in wanting them to return. Accountability and transparency of services is another major policy focus for the task force, such as releasing better data of which private providers are underperforming and enforcing abatement measures for those that fail to meet their performance. John Lee's vision for the group is that riding the bus should ultimately be a forgettable experience, with no major issues. He explains that the contracts between the government and private operators were often blunt and could have benefited from closer monitoring in years past. The task force is expected to deliver their first interim report and potential recommendations to the New South Wales Cabinet by July of this year. The introduction of the Bus Industry Task Force is welcome news, as all New South Wales residents should have access to reliable bus services no matter where they live. It will definitely be a process, but it's comforting to know that the Men's Government is taking the necessary steps